my Apache Bell journey started in the fall of 2010, and I served the 64th line as head dance captain during the 2011-2012 school year. Our line had the pleasure of having Mrs. Ruth Flynn our freshman year and Mrs. Jasilyn Schaefer our sophomore year. And what an honor it was dancing under the leadership of two great women during a time of change. For the 77th line, as you begin your sophomore year, you too are faced with this same opportunity to embrace change, celebrating Mrs. Schaefer's impact and accomplishments while providing support to a new director and the 78th line. What an honor it was to not only serve as Mrs. Schaefer's first head dance captain, but to have the opportunity to come back and work with her further as a graduate assistant while she had her first child, Quincy. As the years passed and seasons of my life changed, Mrs. Schaefer has been there every step of the way and has served as a role model, a mentor, and a friend, not only to me, but to countless other Apache Bells. I'm so honored to be here tonight to speak of her accomplishments as she transitions into her own new season of life with her beautiful family. Mrs. Schaefer was an Apache Bell 1996 to 1998 and a part of the 50th line. She led her fellow Bell sisters as the freshman representative, and during her sophomore year, she felt the Lord call her to start a chaplain position, serving as the first for the Apache Bell organization. To this day, the team begins each practice with a Bible study and a prayer, which is something that is life-changing and unique to this team. God knew that there was more work for her within the Apache Bell organization. And while studying at UT Tyler, she served under Mrs. Flynn as graduate assistant from 1999 to 2001. During that time, she completed her Bachelor's of Science degree and later went on to obtain her Master's degree in education. Even after her time as the graduate assistant ended, she remained heavily involved in the organization, serving as president-elect of the Apache Bell Gold 2006 to 2009, and as president 2009 to 2011. In 2009, Mrs. Schaefer became the Apache Bell's administrative director and assistant to Mrs. Flynn. 1 year later, I began my Bell journey with the 64th line. And as it so happens, part of Mrs. Schaefer's duties included implementing the Apache Bell's fitness training program. And let me tell you that she whipped us into some serious shape. I feel certain that not only did she outrun every single Apache Bell, she outran every single coach and student athlete here at TJC. And she set the high bar when it came to both physical and mental stamina, and has led by example always. Mrs. Schaefer served as interim director 2011 to 2012 before officially becoming the director in the fall of 2012. An important focus for her was to restore the emphasis on the Apache Bell history and traditions. She coined the phrase, "Love the line, live the dance." And through example, she has demonstrated to each line that what we are doing is much bigger than dancing. Over the last 12 years, Mrs. Schaefer, along with Mrs. Evans, have solidified the Bell's commitment to honoring our organization's history while breaking ground in many new areas. The list of notable accomplishments is far too long to list in the time that I have here tonight. But I would like to mention a few that have had an outsized impact on this program, this school, and this community. While serving as director these past 12 years, Mrs. Schaefer has restarted international travel, taking the team to Japan, South Korea, where She has been instrumental in facilitating military-based performances all over the world, along with the Berkshire Hero Flight Trip. The Apache Bells have continued to perform at professional sporting events, televised holiday parades, and guest appearances while deepening their roots here on campus and in the community, with TJC basketball game performances and Apache Bell Christmas show, just to name a few. Under her leadership, the new vintage uniform was reintroduced, and a family tree was created to preserve a record of each Bell Lions lineage. She has bridged the gap between alumni and members, facilitated the Mary Payne Low Endowed Scholarship, and worked alongside administration on the new state-of-the-art band and bell facility. Mrs. Schaefer has taken a comprehensive approach to the development of her students. By sending out current bells and alumni to recruit, she has been able to reach dancers that otherwise may not have heard of our program. Once here, she has supported them by establishing the first school scholarships and starting the Rose Capital Classic competition, which in turn pays for sophomore fees. Post-graduation, she serves as a mentor to countless bells, and I have absolutely no doubt that her influence will continue for years to come. While her titles and ways of contribution have looked different over the years, her dedication to this organization and obedience to the Lord has never wavered. I remember being a sophomore at tryouts going into that year and her welcoming her first freshman class. She told us that while she would never have any children of her own, she was blessed to have us as children in her life to help mentor and guide. And little did she know that God would bless her with her own children one day as well. Sweet Quincy and Graham. And while her responsibility to her own family grew, her commitment to shepherding the Apache Bells has never wavered. Mrs. Schaefer, we celebrate you. We celebrate your love and commitment to the Apache Bell program and the impact on countless bells you have made throughout the year. Out of obedience, the Lord has led you to the program. And with the same obedience, you are following His will as you move into the next chapter of your life, focusing on your family. On behalf of the Apache Bell program, we thank you for all that you have done. You have poured yourself into not only exceptional performances, but into molding and shaping me and my fellow Bell sisters. Oh, how I love Apache Bells, and oh, how we